You reap what you sow. A massive MAGA meltdown after Trump's Justice Department announces there never was, in fact, a Jeffrey Epstein client list. But after being lied to for years by right-wing influencers, will there now be calls for Attorney General Pam Bondi's head? Welcome to the No Spin Zone. Graph's Grievances starts right now. Conspiracy theories have always been the fuel in Donald Trump's political engine. He launched his career pushing the racist lie that Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States. He smeared Ted Cruz's father as an accomplice in JFK's assassination. He invented voter fraud plots out of thin air to explain every loss, real or imagined. And perhaps no conspiracy theory has had a firmer grip on the MAGA imagination than the one surrounding Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein was arrested in 2019 on federal sex trafficking charges, accused of recruiting and abusing dozens of underage girls, some as young as 14, at his homes in New York and Florida between 2002 and 2005. The indictment described how he paid girls in cash for massages, during which he would masturbate and assault them. Many were trafficked repeatedly. In August 2019, Epstein was found dead in his Manhattan jail cell while awaiting trial. The official cause was suicide. The New York City Medical Examiner made that determination within days. Trump's own Department of Justice, under Attorney General Bill Barr, reviewed the evidence and agreed. Barr even said he personally reviewed security footage and found no indication of foul play. But Trump didn't care. Within hours of Epstein's death, Trump was amplifying social media posts blaming Bill Clinton. Never mind that Epstein died on his watch in a federal facility while his own DOJ was in charge. Trump wasn't interested in the truth. He was interested in deflection. He wanted people focused on Clinton, not on the fact that he and Epstein had a long-standing relationship. In 2002, Trump called Epstein a, quote, terrific guy who liked beautiful women, quote, on the younger side. Even after Barr's public statements, Trump continued to entertain the possibility that Epstein had been murdered. And while he kept that door open, right-wing media ran wild. They promoted the fantasy that Epstein had kept a secret list of powerful clients, names that would expose a global pedophile ring if only the deep state would let the truth out. That fantasy metastasized once Trump left office. Under President Joe Biden, MAGA influencers insisted that the government was holding an Epstein client list, that a ledger existed, that Democrats were covering it up, that if Trump returned to power, the truth would finally come out. Well, Trump is back, and the people who once fueled those conspiracy theories are no longer yelling from the sidelines. They are now running the show. Trump named Kash Patel as FBI director. Dan Bongino, a former podcaster and Fox News host, who spent years claiming Epstein was murdered, is now his deputy FBI director. And J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, once insisted on social media that the Epstein story had been buried to protect the powerful. These men built their careers by fanning the flames of conspiracy. And now they have got the badges, the subpoenas, and the full weight of the federal government behind them. So what did they find? Absolutely nothing. In May, Dan Bongino appeared on Fox News and delivered the quiet part out loud.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
That's it. After years of noise, bluster, and paranoia, the official position of the Trump administration is that Epstein died by suicide and there is no client list. The backlash was swift. Tucker Carlson said the administration had made a, quote, huge mistake by failing to deliver the goods. Alex Jones accused Trump of gaslighting his own base. And then came Elon Musk. The billionaire tech mogul, once cozy with Trump, now openly feuding with him, floated a new conspiracy of his own. Quote, Trump is in the Epstein files, he posted online without offering any evidence. This is why they haven't been made public. It was clearly a shot across the bow, because if MAGA's new excuse is that Trump himself is the one being protected, then the entire narrative collapses in on itself. And so does the movement. Pam Bondi, Trump's attorney general, found herself right in the middle of the firestorm. Back in February, Bondi oversaw the first release of documents related to Epstein. She hyped it. She called it Phase 1. She promised there was more to come. But the release was a dud. Entirely old material that had already been made public years earlier. Then came a bombshell yesterday, July 7th. Bondi promised answers. She said the Epstein files would speak for themselves. And what did we get? A DOJ memo that poured cold water on every single MAGA talking point. Quote, this systemic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. No further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. One piece of footage, surveillance video of the hallway outside of Epstein's cell, was included for the first time. But even that came with problems. The clock jumps 1 full minute, missing right before midnight. Enough to keep the conspiracy theorists hooked. But not enough to change the bottom line. Pam Bondi had once implied that the Epstein client list was, quote, sitting on my desk right now.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Now she says it doesn't exist. That's not a revelation, that's a confession. And it's not just a personal embarrassment for her. It's a political crisis for Trump. Because after years of blaming the deep state, the shoe is on the other foot. He controls the DOJ. He controls the FBI. He put the conspiracy theorists in charge, and they struck out. Worse than that, they confirmed what the so-called deep state had said all along. That Epstein died by suicide. That there is no secret list. That the story MAGA has been telling for half a decade was never in fact true. And now they're trapped. Bongino, Patel, and Bondi are left scrambling for distractions, trying to change the subject, hoping the base forgets. But they won't. So here's the question. Now that Trump's own Justice Department has officially debunked the myth, and now that Attorney General Pam Bondi has failed to deliver the so-called Epstein client list she promised, will MAGA demand her impeachment, or will they just move on to the next lie? The big unknown is how much damage this fracturing of the base could do to Republicans. The most immediate risk, a loss of enthusiasm, a creeping cynicism among supporters, depressed turnout in the 2026 midterms, especially in tight races. Or maybe something even more disruptive. Maybe one of these angry, disillusioned ex-MAGA influencers launches a third-party spoiler campaign. Maybe they peel off just enough voters in key battlegrounds to cost Republicans everything. Because when you build a movement on fantasy, you can't control what happens when your followers wake up. Thank you for watching Graph's Grievances. Let me know what you think. Please consider supporting my channel via the Venmo link below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and join me tomorrow for more.